Supercoach 360.
Mission.
Supercoach 360. Animation.
Supercoach 360 podcast.
Yeah, go check it out. Also, so what do you want to talk about? Forwards. All right, so I've got some forwards. I will be honest, did not go as in-depth as Con with numbers or anything like that. I do have a bit of an idea, though, on where they were placed average-ish. I just didn't write it down. So the forwards, to start the year, I can honestly see merit in starting with just about any one of these couple of forwards. Especially if you're looking to free up some cash. Payne Haas, obvious choice, with an average of 68, I think. I do believe he finished the year 68, and he's the only genuine forward with that high of an average. The other forwards with that high of an average are dual position players, I think. But having Payne Haas on your side will probably be one of the things you have to have by the end of the year at least. Not sure if you really need to start with him. Granted, if it was 2020, I'd be saying you've got to start with Payne Haas because I think he averaged 80 odd that year. But last year came crashing back down to earth. 68 still a great average for a big man. But I do feel you could probably start with someone else and work your way to a Payne Haas. Could you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I do.
Yeah.
I think another man who I think will be on your list.
Oh, they're all there.
Big Steph.
Big Steph,
from
yeah,
the Tigers. I think he'll do a very similar job to Payne Haas for a lot less money.
Well, I've got Lindsay Collins in that exact same. See, they're the other two genuine. I've got a couple of actual genuines. I think Welch down at Melbourne, he always does come out the blocks strong, but they're having dramas with big men down there. There's a couple of unvaxxed, there's a couple of injured. What's his name? The Bromwich brothers are going to the Dolphins, so I can just see a few extra minutes for Welch if he's got it in him.
Dale.
No Dale. There's a lot going on, and I can see him definitely being an easy stepping stone to get to a Payne Haas. And then James Fisher-Harris, same. He's constantly been the top 5 front rows for the past couple of years. As long as Juzzy's been playing the game, the Fish has been in the top page when you start your front rowers. Bang, Fish is there in the top 3 to 5 blokes. Now, I only got Fish there because I think Penrith played the first bye round and he will definitely not play Origin. So he's virtually a definite starter till 14-15, like bar an injury. So you won't miss a game. You won't have to use a trade unless he gets injured. Will churn out less points than a Payne Haas, but will chug along nicely. There's a reason he's in the top 5 front rowers for the last
That's it. He'll
years.
give you a solid 60 average with no flair.
And they've lost a couple as well. So I can expect things from him. Also got TPJ and Luke Thompson and IPAP there. I know that they're the dual, but if the second rowers are getting more points, I could even, if Haas isn't scoring as good as TPJ and IPAP by the end of the year, I could see myself having Haas on my bench.
Easily.
Rather than having him in my starting.
Well, if all
17,
three of them
you know.
are going better than Haas, but not as good as the other 5 or whatever gun for second rowers, Haas might not even get a run.
Well, that's it, and it's one of them things you've got to keep an eye on. And it's always good to have these players that you can trade in and out of your front and second row, just with injuries and stuff like that. So that's another thing. Now, I've got Big Steph and Lindsay Collins as blokes that you probably might not even need to use as stepping stones. You could just plug and play. Lindsay Collins he's playing Origin. I think he played Australia even, has he?
I think so.
He pushed Jared Weir-Hargraves to the bench last year to start the year. If it wasn't for his injury, he was chugging along nicely.
Yeah.
And like you said, Big Steph to finish the year off last year. I've got merit in both of those blokes.
Well, I've got Big Steph after the bye in round 17 last year. In his last 8 games, he averaged 65.87.
Yeah.
So that's too short of Payne Haas season average.
Yeah.
For I think he was 140k cheaper or something.
Now I've also got a couple other guys. If you want to pod these other fellas, I think these guys chug along nicely at their clubs and all score well. Like Matt Lodge towards the end of the year last year at the Warriors, he was their go-to guy. I think he was chugging out 80s and stuff at will by the end there.
He was doing really well.
He was. He chugged along well once he went to the Warriors.
Well, you could have AFB too, I think, in that conversation if he gets the minutes as well.
Yeah. And then I've got Josh Bapali. I've started the year a couple of times with Josh, and he tends to come back slow. He doesn't come back chugging out those scores that he's pumping after Origin 3. He's one of them blokes that I would wait and just wait till probably after Origin to see if you're going to pick him up. And I also got a wait and watch on Mo Fodawaker, only because their younger forwards are coming through. I know Mo does a job, but I can just see other blokes starting to pinch minutes. And
well, Mofo's only 22 years old. He's only a kid himself.
Yeah, I know,
he's just been there forever.
You've got Tino. I think he's the captain now, so you expect him to play more minutes. He'll want more ball.
I don't think necessarily. Like, I can see Mo still churning out the same minutes.
Well, then also, with Kevin Proctor, my other theory was with Kevin Proctor going to the bench, what's his name? Fermor. He's a worker. He'll want runs. He's not going to dog it out on the edge like Kevin Proctor did. Like, he's just out there tackling. Whereas I think you'll find... He didn't fucking have any hit-ups. You'll find Fermor will go in and have runs, which will take away from these other blokes.
Well, Peachy's gone out of the middle too, so there's some minutes.
Yep, that's true. And then as Cheapies now, I've only got Andrew Fafita there. If there's an injury at the Sharks, I can't see him being part of their initial 17. Although he did play well.
He did look a lot better than he has for the last 2 years.
He did. I've got him on my list just because he's 200 and something thousand. Very, very cheap. And I've got Tepai Maroa because he's a dual.
Well, I think he had 14 hit-ups in the All-Stars game, made 20-odd tackles.
Yeah.
So if he can do that every week and break a couple with his crossfield
he's got
jogs,
an offload and everything. Like
so he could make you a little bit of coin.
Well, even if he's just a stepping stone up, or you don't have to play him. He's not a bloke you have to play, but he could definitely chug along. He's only got to score a try 1 week and then 2 weeks later get rid of him. You know, he's going to make that money. But that's basically it I got for the front row. Like, I didn't go as in depth as you did. I've got a write up on the website.
Well, front rows virtually speak for themselves. What they average is pretty much what they average. They don't get all that many attacking stats.
They're not going to get to the 900,000s that some of these other guys can get. Like, realistically, now we've seen $1 million players.
1.2 and a half.
You know, and so it's not a stretch to say that we'll see another $1 million player.
No, definitely. I think we will see more than 3 this year.
Really? So, but we will not see a front rower make $1 million?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not unless Dave Fafita moves to the front row.
Tommy?
Plays like one sometimes.
What do you got there for us, Juzzy?
Supercoach 360 podcast.